Hi, good afternoon and good morning from Asia and UK. I'm Pashmina P. from Hasmark Publishing International, and I'm here today with the amazing Charlie Taylor, author of Broken Twigs. Hi, Charlotte.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. You know, we have a few questions that some of your audience would love to ask you, and I know a lot of educators want to know about your book. So I'd really love to get stuck into the questions and just hear what you have to say about your journey and your accolades as well as a teacher. So can you tell your audience the inspiration behind your title?
So my title of the series is Broken Twigs, and the inspiration for that was twofold, really. The first reason behind it is Twigs herself as a character is very, very broken. She's a broken soul at the beginning of the series when you first meet her. And because of this, she chooses to behave in a probably not very nice way most of the time. She's very rebellious, she's very stubborn, she's very selfish. And as a result, she ends up being very insular. Nobody comes near her, she doesn't have any friends. She tries to convince herself that's what she wants, but deep down really it's just her building up a wall, a facade to protect herself from further hurt. So that's the first reason for the title Broken Twigs, because she is very broken. The second reason is because she found herself in my classroom 9 years ago. The value she learnt when she was with us was empathy. So the second reason for the Broken Twigs title is because she learned empathy, and she learned that she didn't like to see young children hurt. So what she decided to do was, if any child came into the class who had experienced some kind of grief or pain, or who was just incredibly sad, she would leave them a little broken stick on their chair. And the children absolutely adore her, and they are so thrilled when they get a broken stick, and it becomes a treasured possession of theirs.
Wow, how symbolic and how beautiful that, you know, that children can feel connected to your story and a character like that. So which brings me to my next question. You are an educator, and, you know, the way that you described your classroom, I wish you were my teacher when I was growing up. And what is one of the biggest takeaways you want your readers to have as they read your book from an education point of view?
I really hope that it would instill reading for pleasure in my readers. I worry as an educator that over the last several years we have actually just diminished the love of reading in our children. The way that we teach is very much the nuts and bolts. So by the time children actually do become independent readers, they often see it as a chore now rather than a pleasure. And I really want to reverse that, because for me, books are such a pleasure. They're such an escape from reality. And I just try to instill that passion in the children I teach as well. So I would love to hear that my books about Twigs have started to develop that reading for pleasure again in children. And that's my vision, really. That's my hope, that these books and the associated planning I've got alongside it do help children learn in a more creative and fun way, and they start to love reading again.
Wow, that's amazing, because you're right. I mean, children are so preoccupied with, you know, electronic material. I wonder when was the last time most children actually walked into a bookstore and picked up a book. Okay, so here's something that, I mean, I love asking authors this, because as a teacher myself with a master's in international education, I mean, I've been in the classroom for 16 years. Do you have more books in the series? And can you tell us how,
Yes.
and can you tell us how this is going to encourage curriculum mapping for the classroom, for teachers? How is this series going to help teachers around the world?
There probably will be 14 books in the series once I'm fully done. Alongside each book, there will be an 8-week reading unit planned, which is very comprehensive. And as I mentioned before, lots of ideas to be creative in the classroom with the books, so children can explore all the skills they need in order to become successful readers, but in a fun and collaborative way, rather than answering a zillion questions that they actually lose, again, the love of the reading of it. So the plans that I have created, it's more of kind of group work, exploration, a bit more creative, really. So I'm hoping the planning then will help teachers as well, because it takes that job away from them. Teachers have got so much planning to do.
Yeah.
They miss out on so much special time with their own families. So each book will come with a reading unit they can literally pick up and use. And it answers all the objectives that have been identified by the UK national curriculum. I've addressed every single aspect of what has been identified as necessary for children to become independent, successful, happy readers. So I'm hoping that will help teachers across the world. And also there's a PSHE element to it as well. So for the first book, done a 6-week PSHE unit, which again can just be picked up and gone, away you go. And that's to do with the value of friendship, which is obviously a very important value for children to learn.
Wow, fantastic, Charlie. I mean, wow, you are a teacher's dream, to provide that much resource. And that is exactly what we need.
Well, I would hope that teachers globally as well, because of my own teaching background, that they would understand the integrity in my planning and understand that I am ticking those boxes for them. So they should have confidence to be able to use it.
Absolutely.
And the children that I've had the experience and been blessed enough to teach, seeing their reaction to Twigs and seeing how much they fall in love with Twigs and Bumble and Thistle, and I just have no doubt that children across the world, if they're given the opportunity, will fall in love with her too.
Oh,
she's amazing. She's such a powerful fairy. She really is.
I know. I followed her journey, and she is amazing. So as a trained teacher, you've already incorporated some of the values and principles in your book to create some phenomenal course curricula, as you just mentioned. We want to know more about this. I know that you want to enhance reading. You want to be able to keep this, mapping very precise for the teachers. Is there anything more that you can tell us about this whole package that you provide for teachers?
Yes. So alongside, obviously, the reading for pleasure, each of the books has its own value that it focuses on. For example, the first book looks at friendship, which is why I've got the PSHE unit of friendship there. The second book then looks at courage, and so on. So you have got lots of different values, and the 12 values have been inspired by the values that we teach children in schools in the UK, but they are global values. They are values that children all over the world will benefit from understanding, experiencing, learning about. And they're things like generosity, teamwork, resilience, perseverance, forgiveness, caring, all of those lovely values that will just set those children on the right path in life, because life isn't easy. And in the books, it's definitely not easy for Twigs. She comes across so many different things that makes life really hard for her. But I think in life as well, with the children, life can be so hard for them. But if they learn these core beliefs, these core values, and hold them close to their hearts, then hopefully it will make life a little bit easier for them.
That's amazing, because you're providing those little roadmaps that make those speed bumps not so,
bumpy.
Yeah, and that's what we need right now, which is wonderful. And as an educator who crossed the bridge into becoming an author, are there any thoughts or advice you would like to share as you embark on your new journey as the creator of something that will enlighten teachers in schools across the world?
Keep nurturing that growth mindset. I am literally, I'm living what I preach, basically, to the children all the time. If you dream it, you can do it. You have to work hard for it, but it is there to be achieved. I knew I always wanted to be an author. I didn't really understand what my context was going to be, and I didn't have the confidence and the self-belief to be able to maybe go for it. Twigs has given me that pathway. She's given me that concept. She has allowed me to understand that, yes, there's a story there to be told, a story which I've shared with the children for the last 9 years. And I think teaching has given me that confidence in my writing, and also spending time with so many young imaginations and just being blown away by the magic that is incorporated in their minds has given me the inspiration to go for it. What do I have to lose? It's that great leap of faith, and it's that being brave and understanding that, yes, it's scary, but actually I'm not going to achieve my dream if I sit back and tell myself I can't do it. So it's nurturing that growth mindset in yourself, in all the children in your class. It's keeping that magic alive. So many children that I've taught many years later that come back and they still talk about Twigs and how she made them feel, and that's the magic that's there, and it's so powerful for all the right reasons. I think being a teacher has absolutely helped me to achieve my dream of becoming a writer, because it's given me that pathway, it's given me that confidence, but it's also letting me share that with the children I teach as well. And it's just magical. It's just...
And leading by example. I love it. And leading by example, you know, you can't preach if you're not doing.
Absolutely.
Your energy and your vibration is stunning. I keep saying to myself, I wish I had a teacher like you when I was growing up, because, you know, I mean, maybe what you're saying is, as a teacher, you touch lives of children. They come back to you and say, Twigs, help them. Okay, this is my favorite question. And I always like, really? How can I do this in one sentence? But here we go. If you could sum up the message of your book in one sentence, what would that be?
Can I give you two?
Okay, sure. You certainly can.
If I was to sum up my first book, the first book in the series, which is called Farewell to Faerie Forest, it would be, when you're offered a true hand of friendship, that is one of the greatest gifts in life. So be brave enough to take it, but also be prepared to nurture it and to reciprocate it respectfully, would be the first one. If I was then thinking about my series as a whole, obviously Broken Twigs, it would be that sometimes broken things can be put back together to be even more beautiful to behold.
Wow.
So those would be my two sentences for the book and then for the series.
Stunning. I love it. I love it. Those are messages unto themselves and could be branched out more into other things. It's beautiful. And tell us when your book will be launched and where everyone can find you, Charlie.
So I'm so excited to say my book is being launched the 20th of October, and I'm loving the symmetry of the date. So it's the 20th of the 10th, 20. So that in itself is just magical. Exactly. But you can find me. I've got my own website at www.charlotteltaylor.com. You can also find me on Twitter at Broken Twigs 2020. You can find me on Facebook, Broken Twigs, at Bumble HQ. Had to get Bumble in there. And you can find me at instagram.com/broken.twigs.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Charlie. And I can't wait to hold your book in our hands. And this is just a beautiful beginning. And we'll be speaking to you soon. Take care, Charlie.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.